And now, Distraction News with your anchor person, Dora Smarmy.
Good evening. I'm Dora Smarmy, and welcome to Distraction News, where we give you the news and then ask you 5 questions about what we've just reported. So make sure you're not distracted. Now, for our top story today, how bees make honey. The female worker bee flies from the hive to a flower. When she arrives, she climbs in, and using her hollow straw-like tongue, she drinks nectar, a sweet, sugary juice in the flower. The nectar enters the bee's crop, or honey stomach, a sac separate from her real stomach, where she mixes it with important proteins, called enzymes, which keep the nectar fresh. When she is fully loaded with nectar, she returns to the hive where she pours out, or regurgitates, the enzyme-rich nectar into a small waxed cell. We call these wax cells the honeycomb. Because the hives are warm, a constant 95 degrees Fahrenheit, the water heats up in the nectar and evaporates. What we're left with is sweet honey. Ah! Hey, buzz off! Okay, now let's see how well you were able to remember the facts. And be sure to count how many you got right. Where does the worker bee get the nectar? From a flower, the fridge, or rotten fruit? The answer is a flower. How does the bee drink the nectar? She savors it slowly, through her hollow straw-like tongue, or through her stinger. The answer is through her hollow straw-like tongue. In the honey stomach, the nectar is mixed with proteins called bee juice, honey mix, or enzymes. The answer is enzymes. When the bee is full, she regurgitates it where? On her shoes, the flower, or the cells of the honeycomb? The correct answer is the cells of the honeycomb. And finally, what evaporates leaving just the honey behind? Beeswax, pollen, or water? The answer is water. So, how did you do? Honey was a pretty sticky topic, eh? Okay, so I'm a cardboard anchor and not a cardboard comedian, so sue me. Well, that's all the time we have for today, but remember, don't ever let anything distract you from watching Distraction News. So long.
This has been Distraction News with your favorite cardboard cutout anchor person, Dora Smarmy.
Hey there! Next game coming up! Game cartridge loading. Check. Revolting Slob!
You know, we can learn a thing or two, even from the most peculiar people. Observe. Hello, Revolting Slob. My, the Revolting Slob is wearing pajamas in the middle of the day. Shouldn't you be getting dressed?
Must sleep.
Well, if you aren't too tired, I'd like to teach the viewers a few new words.
Bah.
Goodness. Apparently, the Revolting Slob wants to sleep all day. So, viewers, is he A, fatigued, B, fanatical, or C, fastidious? The correct answer is A, fatigued, which means very, very tired. Okay, time to wake up, Revolting Slob.
The itsy-bitsy spider went up the water spout.
Oh, I believe the Revolting Slob is talking in his sleep. Let's listen in, shall we?
Down came the rain and washed the spider out.
Listen to that accent. Is the Revolting Slob sounding A, arrogant, B, articulate, or C, asymmetrical?
came the sun and dried.
The correct answer is
spider
B, articulate, which means to speak clearly.
What happened? What?
Excuse me, Revolting Slob, but when did you start being so articulate?
I don't know.
What are you talking about? Don't you remember what you were just saying?
No.
So, apparently the Revolting Slob doesn't know that he was talking in his sleep.
No.
That's because he has no A, resurrection, B, reconstruction, or C, recollection. The correct answer is C, recollection, which means to remember something, unlike Mr. Forgetful here.
Must sleep.
Shall we review? When the Revolting Slob is very tired, he is fatigued.
The itsy bitsy.
Speaking clearly is called being articulate.
What happened?
And having zero knowledge about what just happened is showing no recollection. And coming from the Revolting Slob, not a shocker. Oh, yes. By the way, reconstruction means to put something back together. For example, like the Revolting Slob in a few moments.
Oh, my.
No slobs were harmed in the filming of this show.
Oh yeah! I'm Professor Rocket. Do you know how I got my name? From my dad, fool! And because I can count down, blast off, then play Psycho Math! Okay, now for how Psycho Math works. I'll show you an equation, but instead of numbers, I will show you some pictures. Now listen up. You figure out what numbers the pictures stand for and solve the problem. Are you ready? Then let's do some Psycho Math! Okay, let's start with the number of stripes on the American flag. Then add it to the number of hands on Captain Hook. Then divide it by the number of peas in a pie. You know, like the saying. That reminds me, eat all your vegetables first. Then you get Psycho Math for dessert. Now, you got the answer? You take the 13 stripes of the American flag, add it to the one hand on Captain Hook, the other is a hook, get it? Divided by the 2 peas in a pie, and the answer is 7. You heard me, 7. That number is a slice of heaven. Now, get ready for the next one. The number of signs of the zodiac, plus the number of quarts in a gallon. You with me so far? Then take away the number of sides on an octagon. All right, now, what does it equal? We got 12 signs in the zodiac, plus 4 quarts in a gallon, minus 8 sides of an octagon, giving us 8. You heard me right, I said 8. Some say you're crazy, but I think you're great. Okay, here's the final one. The number of degrees in a circle. Here's a hint. It's a nice round number. Then subtract the number of seconds in a minute, minus the number of dollars you get for passing go in the Monopoly game. You got the answer? Well then, let's go. There are 360 degrees in a circle, minus 60 seconds in a minute, minus $200 equals 100. That's right, 100. Yeah, you are one beautiful number. Okay, I've got to quit, because I'm all out of Psycho Math. These numbers don't grow on trees, children. Oh, but wouldn't it be a beautiful world if they did? Yes, it would. Until that time comes, Professor Rocket's out.
Game time in 10 seconds. Hey, folks, this game is edible.
Dally-hoo, kids! How's it going? Your old pal Eddie Bull here at the exciting Walla Walla Washington Zoo. This week we're going to...
Eddie Bull, he's edible. He really is incredible. He's simply the best of the bunch. There's simply no disguising that he's so appetizing that we want him for our lunch.
Guess what? Some wacky zoo dweller decided to make dessert out of me again. Now, I can take a joke as well as the next guy, but the next guy ain't rolling around in here being digested. If you guys figure out what animal swallowed me, maybe I can find my way out. Okay, everybody, here's your first clue. Although they live in Florida, they're not retired. Okay, they're the only mammal with a shell. But if you hold it up to your ear, you cannot hear the ocean. Maybe that's because their shell looks more like armor. That's right. Whoa! Whoa! Next clue coming up. They love to burrow into the ground and eat insects. Whew, man, dirt and bugs. Whew, are you getting hungry yet? Okay, one last clue. It defends itself by rolling in a ball of armor. Armor? Right. You got it? Of course you do. In Latin, it's Decippus novemcinctus. Whew, that's a big word. But if you want, you can just call it the armadillo. Which means it lives in Florida, is the only mammal with a shell that looks like armor. It burrows into the ground and eats bugs, and it rolls into a ball to defend itself. But me, I like to defend myself the old-fashioned way by calling, help! Help! Uh-oh, looks like I'm out of here again.
Eddie Bull, he's edible. He